I'm in for the XP only. Oh, my legs are feeling pretty tender today after the effort yesterday. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm glad you got it all set up and it working. We'll see you out on some rides. No, if I set out to do a group ride, I don't go very fast. Oh, legs are feeling really tired and I ate too much chocolate. I have chocolate belly. Oh. Woke up this morning feeling like I was hungover, but I was from eating candy and pizza. Oh, it's seriously, it's like I'm in my 40s now. 20 years ago, it was drinking too much on weekends. Now it's eating too much junk food on the weekends. My wife and I wake up in the morning and we're like, what did we do last night? And it's like chip bags all over the house and boxes of chocolate. Felt like I needed to celebrate after my monstrous volcano climb yesterday and like crushing my FTP. And I celebrated a bit too hard with all the junk food. Legs feel actually though, shows you sort of base training. Yeah, 1 for you, 5 in my mouth. Yeah, the legs feel all right as long as I go this pace. This feels nice. Yeah, I'm gonna take it easy from now till Tuesday is day race 1 for the ZRL season 3. And I moved up from C to B, so it's gonna be probably a really hard race. But it's like team time trial, so I'm gonna have to hold on to the team. And we got some pretty high Bs. But you wouldn't know anything about that. You skip the Bs. You're like, yeah, just gonna go hard and go straight to A. Well, Zwift racing is a good way to get into bike racing because you don't necessarily have to worry so much about positioning. And well, I know, despite what all those other guys said, I thought you should have gone in a couple B races just to get the feel of racing. Because, I mean, there is some tactics involved. So it's not like you're just trying to go as hard as you can. And the problem is you're going to jump into an A race and you're just going to see, you know, the back. Where if you win in a couple, if you win in a couple B races, you'd have enough energy to see the front and see moves people are making and kind of get a bit of race sense. You know, because that's how they do it in real life. Like, you don't just automatically start at Cat 1. Yeah, like, you're gonna be racing against, like, guys doing 4.8 and 4.6. Yeah, I was saying in real life, even if you're super fast, you still start in Cat 5, then you gotta work your way up. It's like, oh, you've never raced before, but you're fast. Get right in there on the crits. I would. Racing at the back is very different than racing at the front. So it'd be good to get a feel of race tactics, you know, without dying. You know, it's just like you're giving it 100%, all you got, just to hold on to the pack. So you're not even paying attention to what's going on the race because you're too tired. That's kind of like what Zwift should get into, is not only FTP categories, but, you know, beginner, intermediate, advanced. So everyone starts out in the D, and then after you've done, you know, a bunch of races or proven that you are super strong, you know, then you move to the C, and then you race a bunch in C and realize, oh, you're winning. You upgrade on points, you go to B. Like, look at this little pack here, back in 686th place, just rolling along. Oh, go faster. No, today is not a go faster day. That would not make my legs happy. I'm here for the XP only. I'm not going above 200 watts. It actually works. What? Maybe you ate too much chocolate. You got high blood pressure now. Oh, I hate nosebleeds. I've not had them very often, but oh, I don't know, after seeing some of the numbers Hagen's been putting up, could be some PEDs going on there. So like hour-long rides at 330 watts. Yeah. How long is that take me to get up this hill? Going really slow. Van der Poel, second in the Tour of Flanders. I have a feeling that Van der Poel doesn't necessarily have the best race tactics or race sense. Like, he's got a ridiculous amount of power, And, you know, it's one thing to constantly attack in a cross race. It's only going to be 45 minutes. But, I mean, second is still pretty flippin' amazing. Like, yeah, and I think he just, like, I mean, it's a 263-kilometer race, and I think he just, like, takes the lead and wants to charge from the front constantly. Needs to go talk to Peter Sagan. Because Sagan is, like, the master of, like, where is he? I haven't seen him all race. Oh, there he is, he won. Like, with Van der Poel's power, there's almost no reason for him to take the front. He could just sit fifth wheel the entire race, and then with 5 kilometers to go, he'd be like, yep, 5K to go, okay, see ya. And then just solo from 5K out. I can't even imagine riding like that. I've never ridden 263 kilometers at one time, let alone at race pace. Yeah, that'd have been good. I actually thought I was on the mountain already, and I haven't even started the mountain. Ah. Ah, 17%. Can't even imagine. We have like one hill here that approaches, I believe, 20%. And we used to have a hill climb race that would go up this hill, and it's just like straight up. And I remember getting off my bike and I couldn't get back on my bike. You had to like go in someone's yard where it was sort of flat to get back on. That'd be in my easiest gear, and yeah, you'd like start spinning if it was wet. And then yeah, with these guys, after 200 kilometers of riding, no, that's insane. Yeah, that's tough. Chugging up the mountain, and I get to the top of the volcano. Oh. I don't know if I have to pick the pace up or not. I was gonna do this route again, or this stage, at 9, but I need to be done by 9. So I guess I could just join the stage, don't necessarily have to be done. Oh, 20 minutes. Oh, there it is. Join event. 29 minutes. Oh, that's why I have it up. Look at that time from yesterday, 7:41. Oh, yikes. Getting close to the top here. Oh yeah, getting there. A few more times around. Hey, Bullet, how's it going? How are you doing this morning? How are your legs feeling from all this riding you've been doing? Well, that guy's going fast. 6.0. The goal for today's ride is maximize XP and give the legs a little rest. Yeah, I'm trying. I signed up for 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. So, I mean, the whole idea is that I actually finish the stage before the next stage, but trying to give the legs a break after yesterday's effort up the volcano. Yeah, I really want to push to 45 just for the super fast wheels. But I think the goal for 2021, considering it's still going to be pandemic lockdown for most of it, is to try to get to level 50 by the end of the year. But like 5 years, 5.5 years since it pretty much first came out. But I never really rode it like you do now, especially with COVID. It was a winter thing, like it actually does it. Like if you go look at Hagen started Zwifting in January and he's like in the 20s already. But it's just when I first started, you only really did Zwift, you know, in November and December and January, and the rest of the year. So it wasn't till the lockdown early 2020 where I pretty much ride Zwift, you know, 4 days a week. Yeah, and then once they introduced the route badges for XP, that helps. There we go, at the top. The racing helps, like the Tuesdays and Thursday race nights. Yeah, the fastest wheels in the game unlock at 45, so that's sort of the #1 goal at this point right now. I try to. It gets a little tough racing on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but the ZRL season, they usually have a 1-month gap or a 6-week gap. Yeah, they're basically the same. I mean, really, we're talking seconds. So for me, it's not much of a difference. Not sure if I'm a fan of the new Zip logo. It does look kind of cool when the wheels are going fast. Oh, I think I'd probably have to ride like 400 kilometers to get to 45. That's probably not going to happen. I think I'm going to finish this stage and do it once more. And that's good for today. It's going to take it easy till Tuesday. Tuesday is race number 1 of ZRL Season 3. Ah, 700. Yeah, no, that's... basically kind of like video games. The higher level you are, the more XP you need to get to that level. So, I get the same XP as anybody else does. It's just between levels is... if I click on the menu, like there, I need to get to almost 400,000 points to the next level, and I'm at 385,000. So like 15,000 divided by... yeah, it's literally what Peter said. It's like 700 kilometers, but it's 375 at double XP to get to the next level. I've done all the badges. Well, I've done all the route badges, but I don't think you get XP for achievements. At least I don't think you do. But yeah, I just banged off the last route badge a few weeks ago. Oh yeah, is that... so like the route badges I'm missing, or not the route badges, but like the achievement badges I'm missing is like climb the Alp 15 times. But that kind of effort is not really worth what they give you. Well, I won't tell you how many times I've gotten the wheels. I've been pretty lucky. I think it was about my 3rd or 4th time up the Alp. Ah, 3 or 4 times. Crazy. Yeah, I've gotten them 3 or 4 times total, but... oh, I'm gonna cruise to finish this. 2.8 kilometers in 14 minutes. Should be no problem. Just in time to do this all again. I wish on the Apple TV you could do like the drone camera like you can on the PC. Yeah. Uh, if you're gonna be riding for 3 hours, man, that'll stuff will save ya. It goes a really long way. I use it almost every ride. Yeah, I think the main goal with the stream was like just trying to get the stream consistently working at first. I had like so many tech issues. And then now that things work, I'm slowly add things here and there, kind of steal other people's ideas. You can watch someone else and go, oh, that looks super cool. Like when you watch Watt's Wheelhouse, like his setup is amazing. So I stole the light idea was from him. I heard someone's working on something where you can get the lights to change based on your power output. So the light color would match your graph in Zwift, which would be super cool in races. It's like you go for a sprint and the lights just go red and yellow as blue and green. Yeah, like to control my lights, I'm using like the free version of a program called Lumia Stream. And I'm wondering if you paid, it would give you more control. Like there is a lot of little lock symbols on options that I don't have access to because I don't pay for it. But you get $10 to death doing this. It's like $10 to control your lights, $10 for music, $10 for this. I enjoy streaming and it's, you know, fun for me, but I don't really want to be putting out $50 a month on top of Zwift and, well, yeah, because there is some crazy stuff you can do, because I know, like on our team time trials, our coach who, you know, basically tells us what to do, they've made this program that shows all of our names on a graph with our power and our heart rate all color-coded. So he can sit there and watch the race, and it does somehow go into the Zwift back end and pull everyone's info from. It's super cool because you can see that your heart rate, you know, is nowhere near red, and he's like, come on, you can take another pull. Yeah, like I can, I don't know if I have access to the actual, like, I can send you with a screenshot of what it looks like. I've never personally used it, I've just seen other people use it. But yeah, you use your Zwift ID number and he puts it into this thing, and it somehow gets everyone's info. But it would be cool if Zwift did allow more of that in the background. It'd be nice to be able to maybe even change the UI of the game. Yeah, I'll see if I can dig it up somewhere. It's like buried in some stream channel of like our race team's Discord. Well, it's like I play a lot of other video games that allow add-ons. I mean, one that pops into head is World of Warcraft. I mean, the amount of add-ons you can get for that game is insane, you know, for visuals and changing the UI. I would like actually no UI, like just empty, and then let me pick what I want to see and where it goes. Because actually for racing, I really don't like seeing my heart rate. Like I have to put a piece of tape up over my heart rate on the screen and over the companion app. I have a weak mental game in the race, and I'll look at my heart rate and go, whoa, that's a really high heart rate. Are you sure you can ride it that high for the rest of this race? And then my brain goes, I don't know, I don't think you can. You should probably slow down. And so then I slow down. But on races where I don't see my heart rate, like outside time trials, I got rid of the data screen completely on my Garmin. But yeah, on races that I don't see my heart rate, my average heart rate will be like 5 or 6 higher than what it would be if I can see it. Yeah, that's what I need, is to trick it and be like, what? I'm only at 160? I got tons of room left. Yeah, actually for the team time trials, having one of the guys not race and watch the race is awesome. Because I don't know how some of these guys do it, but I can't think. And so I just put my head down, and then he'll call out the order and be like, you know, this guy, and then this guy, you're up next. Okay, you're up next, 1 minute pull, and then you can just do what you need to do. 158. Do this again. Yeah, like it'd be awesome if you were like going hard and you went for a sprint and the lights would like that doesn't really look very red though. Sort of red. It's getting too bright. I have the sun bounces off the neighbor's windows across the street in the morning, and it's just like full super bright. Oh, 30 seconds. Oh. I could fix that one day. That side camera, it won't stay on longer than 20 minutes. Pain in the butt. If you're in a race and it goes off, it's like, too tired, so you can leave it. Oh, here we go. I do the Streamlabs OBS, or Slobs. I very first started using just regular OBS, and it was kind of overwhelming. And then I got a really insane deal on a Prime membership with OB or Streamlabs on like Black Friday. They had some crazy, 60% off yearly subscriptions. So I ended up subscribing for a year. And I think Streamlabs, with their version of OBS, does a really good job of helping you understand and get going. But I think after my year is up, I'm probably going to switch over to OBS Studio. Just for, I think the vanilla version of OBS allows you to do a lot more. Or maybe not a lot more, but the best analogy I can put it is, it's like Android. So Google makes Android, but if you buy a Google phone, Android on your Google phone is exactly how Google wants Android to look. Like, they've given you all the functionality, everything. It's a bit quirky, but Google's going, this is Android. Where Slobs is like what the other phone manufacturers do to Android. Like Samsung takes Google's Android and says, well, we're gonna make it look a little prettier, but we're gonna take away this feature because people don't need that. And we're gonna make it a little easier to do this. So it's still the same basic thing, it's just you're not getting every feature as it was intended. But starting off, it's fantastic because it pretty much walks you through. Like, if you go and download OBS, it's just like, here it is. And you're like, I don't know what to do. It's like my wife uses Twitch Studio, and it is like so easy. there's a lot you can't do, but for a new streamer, you pretty much be like, I want to stream, and you click this I want to stream button, and it goes into your computer, and it finds all your webcams and everything, and then it goes, here you go. Here is your basic overlay for streaming. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, how did you set this up? She's like, I don't know, I just pressed this button. I'm like, what do you mean you just pressed the button? So I went and tried it, and it was literally like one click, and you had like a half decent setup going. Well, it's like you can even do it off your phone. Like, it's just crazy, but I mean, it gives people something to do during this whole like stay at home. Kind of fueled my fixes on stuff, because I mean, I love Zwifting, I love cycling, but I also like tech stuff. I like figuring out how to make things work, and like I say, as much as I want to make my stream look good for people watching, a lot of it is just because I like it. I'm like, oh, look at that. I made the lights change. You know, it's like a fun hobby for me. I'll have to change that though. Those Streamlabs notifications come up way too often. Well, and the community's so good, especially for the racing team. We got guys that are making overlays and graphics, and everyone's, you know, passing their, you know, stuff on. And I really enjoyed the Twitch, like the Zwift community. Like, everyone has been super friendly, and yeah, I think that was my biggest mistake with streaming, was I was watching other people's streams, and it was probably back in November, and I, you know, would see this totally amazing stream and be like, I want that. And then you just try to went too big too soon, and then nothing really worked, and you can't figure out why it doesn't work. So I just sort of started, you know, doing one thing, and then I'll get that down, and then I do add. So it's been this ongoing process for the last 4 months. Like I say, you go into anyone's stream, and everyone is super accommodating and answering questions. You know, guys like PookieBot, Watts Wheelhouse, Hagen, Jet Reset. You know, there's a lot of people with doing some pretty cool stuff. Oh, awesome. Just doing this. I am very anal about things matching. And so when I was making all these windows, they all had to be the same pixel size, and they all had to be the same pixel away. Yeah, they really do. Like, I know nothing about sort of graphic design and stuff, and I'd really like the edges of the windows to be curved a bit more instead of so square and sharp. But square is all I can come up with at this point. I can't do. I'm not. We have one guy on our race team. He's really, really good with Adobe Illustrator. And he makes all the like font, you know, words and symbols. Yeah, with this amount of sun coming through the windows, I should probably go outside today once I finish this. It is bright. I haven't. Are they like an overlay? '81, oh, that is beautiful.
Ride on.
Yeah, there's a lot of companies out there that are making, you know, animated overlays, but and that's sort of what's nice about the having like a Streamlabs subscription is you get access to a lot of these overlays, but you're not really getting access to the customization. So they're giving you this. Yeah, like there was one that I really liked in Streamlabs, and it was made by a company called Tactical Lion. But the Streamlabs one, you couldn't do anything with it. It was like, here it is. You get a window here and a window here. And I'm like, well, I want to move the windows around. But if you go on the Tactical Lion website, they actually sell you. It's still kind of expensive, but I guess not for graphic design, but it's $40. But they give you the actual, like, Adobe Illustrator files. So if you buy that overlay kit, you can change the color, the sizes of the windows, you know, everything. But then I would need to get Adobe Illustrator and pay another monthly subscription fee. I think there's another company called Owned. Seems like there's so many of them. Yeah, that's like... That's why I came up with mine. Like, I just did my own, because I'm like, man, this overlays are super sweet, but $40, like, ah. Well, that's how it gets you too, because you don't really realize. I did get the background from somewhere though. That's sort of where it all started. There's I think the company website's called Snappa, and it's they make like not really overlays, but backgrounds, badges, and you can kind of customize. So I did actually spend a 1-month subscription with them for 15 bucks. And then I spent that month getting as much background, overlay stuff off of their website as much as possible that matched what I was doing. So if I had to go back, I could mess around with it after myself. I think that was the problem initially, is I was so concerned about having windows with outlines. But all this really is a background, and then the bottom 2 windows are just the webcam. Like, there's no outline for them. I made a small outline on the top one just to give a little bit of separation. But it's, I guess I was like overthinking everything too much. You know, looking at other people's streams going, man, like, and I just stop overthinking and be like, this is what I want. I want me right here on the screen.
Right on.
This group is going pretty fast for 584th place. Just chugging along. Yeah, well, that's like, I've kind of realized watching other people's channels, and I guess, I mean, when I'm not Zwifting, I'm usually in a lot of other people's channels chatting, and I think it's not necessarily that the fact that they're Zwifting, it's people's personalities. And you're going back because you're like, want to chat with these people. So half the time, I'm usually not paying attention that they're, you know, in Zwift. And I think it makes it more real. I used to always have the sort of fake green screen so you couldn't see my garage. And I think, yeah, this is my dirty garage. I think it makes you more like a real person rather than just a green screened, you know, body. I mean, when I do race though, I focus more on Zwift. Yeah, the out of focus camera is actually fake, using a program called NVIDIA Broadcast. Like, you can actually, where is it here? You can actually vary the background blur to like a lot of blur, or to nobler, but it uses some artificial intelligence trickery to make me not blurry. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing program. I mean, I'll probably break it by doing this, but I can actually... Doesn't like those garbage bins. Yeah, there we go. It doesn't like the bins in the mic. It's funny the different dynamics on these group rides, because I'm way higher placed than I was on the last ride, and I'm going the same effort. Oh, getting close to the hill. I think out of all the hills in Zwift, I don't mind the volcano. It's the top of the list of okay hills. Probably by the time I'm done this stage, I'll be about a third of the way into 44. Which isn't too bad. I think with the new pack dynamics as well, it seems like it's done a better job for the people in the back of the pack. Because when I used to do these slow recovery rides, I would be solo almost the whole ride. And I mean, I don't know if it's true, but it just seems like back in 600th place that more groups are forming up. Except for this guy taking off with his arrow power up. He's like, I'm gonna race ya to 590. Oh, I have a power up I should be using. Yeah, like guys blowing power-ups. It's like... It's actually kind of... It makes it more interesting, but some buddies and I, on our recovery Zone 1 rides, we'll usually go in some of these stages and we'll set a wattage cap, like say 200 watts. And the goal is to see how high of a placing you can get without ever going over 200 watts. And it makes recovery rides pretty entertaining because guys will do things like that where they'll use a power up and take off, and you're thinking, damn, I can't go over 200, I can't catch him. But then you slowly start reeling them back in. You're like, oh, I'm catching ya, I'm gonna get ya. You know, things to do to take your mind off the fact that you're sitting on a trainer in a virtual world. And there's dudes on mountain bikes ripping it up on the pavement. Oh, it totally is. It's amazing. Like even when, like we have a group of buddies that ride every Saturday morning, and just using Discord and being able to talk makes a big, big difference. I used to get about 45 minutes into a trainer ride and be like, I'm bored. This is like boring. But, you know, chit-chatting with people on the stream and in Discord, it makes the time go by so much faster. I mean, you were on the trainer for 3.5 hours last night. You can't go for 3.5 hours if you don't have people chatting. That's impossible. Because this is how the lights have to work. The lights don't work with like super sun shining in. Yeah, actually it's kind of, we've done a couple sort of Zwift, Twitch group rides where we've all been in Discord. My wife just came into the garage. She's like, why are you riding with all the lights off? I'm like, you can't see my lights if it's so bright in here. I think Hagen has a beer ride coming up. That always makes for some interesting fun. I thought maybe it's next week. I don't know, I'll have to like track him down. No, when I put the lights in this garage, it's lit up so much. It's entirely for working on stuff. So the lights are absolutely amazing if you're working on your bike. But when you're streaming, it's like a operating room. I'm sitting here riding, like squinting the whole time. So with the backlight coming in, I added another front light. So she calls it like the romance. I'm like riding my bike in like the dim lights with. But yeah, the beer ride, we usually jump in a central Discord and then everyone's talking to each other, and then everybody else on other people's streams can hear the other streamers talking, and it's super fun. It's like But yeah, if you're into drinking beer and riding bikes, I'd suggest talking to Hagen. Yeah, so there's 2 official beer rides. Hagen does the Volcano beer ride, and then Jet Reset does the Alp de Beer. And Hagen's is, you basically do the Volcano flat laps, and it's whoever can complete 4 laps the fastest. And you can't start the race until you chug a beer, and then every lap you have to finish a beer. And the very first time we did it, we had 6 people signed up, but then it was only me and Hagen, so it was like a 1 versus 1. And then the Alp de Beer, Jet's got a little more rules. Oh, the rule about the Volcano flat is you can't drink a beer unless you're showing 0 watts. So you either had to come... Yeah, that's pretty much me. I don't drink beer very often. So, oh, it was hilarious. The Alp de Beer was kind of the same thing. You couldn't start the Alp. We met at the bottom just before the timing light, and you couldn't start until you finished a beer. And then I think it was every 4th turn you had to drink a beer, and it was a 6-pack by the time you got to the top. That was hard. Super hard. I'll see if I can dig up a link from YouTube, because I think Twitch has already pushed the VOD off the list, but it's pretty funny. And it's kind of a fun thing to do too, because if you show up on Twitch, it's like 7 guys all doing the same thing. And we were all talking to each other. And so all the viewers were just sort of rotating between everyone's stream, because you would get a different angle of the race. I think Hagen did like a 58-minute Alp, drinking 6 beer, like crazy. Yeah, I'm too fat for Alp de Zwift. I think my personal best time, I think, is 62 minutes. I think the beer Alp I did 80 minutes or 70, yeah, 80 minutes or 70 minutes. Can't remember much from that ride. Well, it's like biking. It's so weight driven. Because I pretty much, my personal Alp time, my wattage was the same as Hagen's, but he's like 15 minutes faster. So that's where the Volcano climb, or the Volcano beer circuit, was good, because it's really fairly flat. So the flatness in Zwift caters to overall power output rather than weight as much. So I was able to hold his wheel for a good portion of it. But it's, like I say, the Zwift Twitch community is super awesome for doing stuff like that. You know, everyone else wants to see everyone else succeed and do well. Yeah, I don't know what my PR would be now, because I don't really like putting out 1 hour all-out efforts. It hurts. And when I did 62 minutes, I thought, nah, that's dumb. I don't want to do that again. But I'm probably about 4 kilos lighter now. Yeah, maybe about 4 than when I did that attempt, or maybe 3. Maybe I'll make another attempt once I'm under 90. Or maybe I'll just make it a goal that I'll try to beat my PR while doing the Beer Alp, or Alp de Beers. Yeah, well, that's what we were joking, is the drunk, or the beer numbs the pain of the legs, because there was some serious effort going on. And the fun, like everyone was laughing and like did it on a Saturday night, or was a Saturday or Friday night. And everyone had like a ton of viewers and everyone, lots of interaction going on. Lots of, you'd go into somebody else's channel and like trash talk them while they're climbing. Yeah, like we all thought it was gonna take a bunch of beer Alps before someone would crack the 60-minute mark. And it happened on the very first attempt. And I think what happens is, now that we've done one, and Jet Reset posted like the official results, I think that got more people interested, like some of the really fast guys, because they're thinking, oh, well, you know, Hagen is right now the, you know, Alp de Beer world champion. So I think the next time we do it, we'll probably get a lot more than 6 people Which, the more people, the more fun, because that was the problem with 6 people. We were strung out. Yeah, he must be dethroned. But that's what also throws it into. You get a really light, fast guy that can do the Alp in 45 minutes. But how fast can a 130-pound guy go chugging a 6-pack of beer? Like, he might not be able to hold it down. Or it's like the opposite. You got a guy like Bert Skeets who can chug beer like there's no tomorrow, but he's not really very fast up the hills. But he was like throwing down tall boys like nothing. Oh, this beer talk's made me kind of thirsty. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's when you gotta find the weakest, crappiest beer to drink as well. I think Coors Light is a good selection for the beer out. Yeah, don't be trying to drink the fancy beer. Well, and the hard part, it's not necessarily even just drinking beer. It's just trying to fit that liquid in you while you're riding. Like, I couldn't even drink like 6 cans of bubbly water is tough. Oh, the volcano downhill is just not steep enough for super tucking. Not quite. Oh, well there, that's good then. You're all set. You just gotta find like super low percentage alcohol, like beer. Like 3.5% or 4%. Well, that's actually probably the biggest problem of these rides is carbonation. Your legs are pumping. It's like your stomach's jiggling around. You're trying to go hard and you're trying to burp. So you gotta find the least carbonated beverage. Or it's you gotta pre-open all the beer first and just having them sit there open. There's the one bonus of being fat. It's like passing all these guys on the downhill. It's all the tricks of the trade of like beer riding. Well, this was a good morning of riding. Heart rate like never went over 120. Actually kept to the pace that I wanted to keep. I'd be all ready for yeah, I'm a good third of the way into double XP is helping. Probably do a light ride tomorrow because it's race day on Tuesday. A little nervous for Tuesday. I'm racing up a category. So, but the race season 3 starts with a team time trial, which of all the types of racing is probably what I'm better at. So racing up a class shouldn't be a huge issue because my team has to wait for me. Well, they don't have to, but in the team time trials, your team score or your team time is based on the fastest 4 guys across the line. So the goal is to keep all 6 of you together for as long as possible. So what you try to do is burn out 2 of your weaker riders before you hit the finish, which potentially is me, so it's gonna be a take my poles and go till I drop. But you're faster as a team if you stick together with everyone drafting, because the more people you have with you the whole time, the more rest you get after you've taken your pole. Yeah, last week was really well. I'm like one of the weaker people on the Thursday. We had a lot of problems on Thursday because on the Thursday TTT, you're allowed to have 8 people, and we're on a mixed team of B's and C's, but we only had 7, and then our one guy had technical difficulties and got booted out of Zwift, so we only started the race with 6. And then we lost one guy in the desert right off the bat, like super early, so we had 5. And then with 12 kilometers left, our 5th couldn't take any more poles. So we were just rotating for the last, 15 minutes with 4 people, and that is hard because you don't get really any rest. But it's pretty fun. Pretty fun. Well, here we go. Stage 2B done again. That is it for me. Still a little too early in the morning, but I think I'm gonna go have a beer soon and enjoy the rest of this sunny day outside. Hope everyone has a fantastic Sunday. Go see Frank, because Frank has climbed the radio tower and he could probably use a hand. I could spell his name.